So Andre taught us to be excited. He was excited. He's still excited about the things that God gives us. Are you excited about what you have? That's so important. To be excited, you have to have a little bit of humility. Because you can't be excited if you think you deserve everything. You say, who am I to have all these things? Look at all the millions of people that don't even know Jesus. All the people who don't even have any food to eat. Don't have a home to stay in. Have no clean water to drink. And don't know about Jesus and the call to a glorious, beautiful, exciting relationship with him. So do you say, I know? Or do you say, wow, this is so great, so important? We all make such incredible choices. And we react to our situation. And so my favorite is the good thief and the bad thief. And to me it's a picture of life. The three crosses. It's a picture of all our life because there's Jesus in the center with all his love and mercy dying for us. And we can be on either side, the good thief or the bad thief. One of the criminals hanging in crucifixion blasphemed Jesus. Aren't you the Messiah? Then save yourself and us. But the other one rebuked him. Have you no fear of God, seeing that you're under the same sentence? We deserve it after all. We're only paying the price for what we've done. But this man has done nothing wrong. He then said, Jesus, remember me when you enter into your reign, into your kingdom. And Jesus replied, I assure you, this day you will be with me in paradise. Every one of us is going to make that decision because we were going to have our trials and struggles. And we're either going to say, Jesus, get me off this cross. I can't stand. Do something. Why don't you help me? Do something for me. Or we're going to embrace what the Lord gives us and say, Lord, I trust in your love. You suffered for me. You died on the cross for me. When I deserved nothing but crucifixion. Who am I to complain? I trust in you. Remember me in your kingdom. And he'll say to you, this day you'll be with me in paradise. Now there's a theological mystery here. Because did that good thief go up to heaven? Heaven wasn't open yet. Jesus hadn't risen from the dead yet. How could he get up to heaven ahead of everybody else? Because until Jesus went to heaven, nobody was up there. And I pondered that. And then I read in St. Therese. She said, how is heaven going to be any different from what I have now? And here she was, suffering like a crucifixion. She was dry and desolate and in pain, dying of TB. And feeling that there was no God in her feelings, dry and empty and in pain. And then she says, I can't see how heaven's any different. And I said, how could she say that? That's incredible. What does that mean? Heaven for her was Jesus inside her. And then I was in Regina, and there was a young girl there. And I went down to the cafeteria, and she was all excited, like Andre gets excited. She was just so excited. She said, I'm in heaven, I'm in heaven, I'm in heaven. And I wonder, what the heck is she talking about? Because her boyfriend was coming. And he'd told her the other night that he loved her. And then he was coming to see her. So she was excited about this human being made in God's image who loved her. And it's kind of a heaven if somebody loves you, even if they're just a human being. And people get so excited about it. And there's a truth behind it. That Jesus in your heart is heaven. And if you love him, and if he's precious to you, you say, I already got what I'll have in heaven. Union with Jesus. I already have his love and his presence. And he is heaven. Is that true? Is Jesus heaven? Is God heaven? Or is it just a place to get to? Or is it union with Jesus? I know a woman from Lethbridge, and her husband had a heart attack, and he became a vegetable. And for 12 years, he was in the hospital. He couldn't respond. And she went down every day and spent 2 hours with him. Even though he couldn't respond at all, couldn't talk to her, looks like he didn't even recognize her. Couldn't even feed himself. Well, couldn't even eat. He had to be fed through a tube. And I marveled at that. And she said to me, well, what do you expect? I love him. He's my husband. I've given my heart to him. And it's still him. And it's a joy for me to go and be with him. Even though it's nothing for me, it's a dryness. But I love him. And I have a joy to be with him. The same as I would if he was asleep for an hour or was unconscious for a day. Wouldn't you be joyful to be with somebody that you love, even if they're asleep or unconscious for an hour? And so, to learn to love, to learn to have joy in being with Jesus, and to see the excitement of it, even when it's dry. It's still Jesus. It's still our God within us. And that's what St. Therese saw. That's what she delighted in. That's what was everything for her. What do you want in life? That book said, the fulfillment of all desire. My topic is supposed to be choice. What do you choose to fulfill you? If God were to appear to you tonight and said to you and called you by name, said, look, I love you. What do you want? What's the desire of your heart? What are you working for, thinking about, longing for? What would you say? Where's your heart? What do you desire? It's so easy to get captured by something that's not Jesus.